Untamed Heart was Tom Sierchio's first feature film, released in 1993. This story about a lonely waitress and a mysterious young man with a mystical past is funny, moving, and romantic.
I have to tell you something. Might make you angry.
Look at me.
I watch you sleep sometimes. Tree, it wasn't the first time I was in your room. The last.
You come into my room.
Tom Sierchio has been gracing the silver screen for decades as actor, stuntman, stunt coordinator, and most significantly, screenwriter. Now, Toms River High School North graduate Tom Sierchio is set to make his directorial debut. Tom, welcome to The Spark.
Thanks
for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about your path from Jersey guy to Hollywood.
I'm still a Jersey guy. So,
Yes.
I started off years ago in theater when Trenton State College, which is now College of New Jersey. And I started writing acting scenes for myself because we started running out of scenes to do. So that's how I got into writing. But I was also a gymnast, so I got into stunts with a good friend of mine, Jeff Gibson, who's one of the biggest stunt coordinators on the East Coast right now. And the two of us did a couple of Trauma films. I don't know if you ever heard of Trauma, Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that was our first foray into
Yes.
into films. And it was through stunt work. And then I got tired of being a punching bag for, a week. I wanted to be involved more in the filmmaking process. And then the writing kind of took off from there, and I moved to LA, and I just went with the writing. And I still did stunt work here and there, but that's the short version of
Yes.
how I got in there.
I'm just wondering, did you always love movies? Because it seemed as if you were very drawn to
Yeah.
being in the industry in some way.
Yeah,
That's what it
I
sounds
mean,
like.
movies. I remember my mom calling me down as a kid, this To Kill a Mockingbird's on, come downstairs. Or, oh, The Train. She was a big Burt Lancaster fan, so it was The Train and Come Back Little Sheba and Birdman of Alcatraz.
Oh, wow.
And it was just, I remember actually To Kill a Mockingbird was the first time that the television wasn't just like, something to keep me busy. It did something. I was like, it kind of struck a chord some way, and I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. And from there, I've always been a fan of the movies, and I saw as many as I could, and watched the good ones and the bad ones, because you learn just as much from watching, the bad movies of what not to do, and then from there, it just I just gave it a shot.
It was acting first, right? That drew you
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I started watching myself, and I thought, wow, I better not continue too much with it. I mean, no, it was fun, but I just felt like I wanted to be more of the creative process, of actually, creating, a whole movie. It was kind of a cool idea. So, yeah.
There you go. So tell us about The Girl Who Invented Kissing. This is your first time as director.
First time as director. It has a little bit of a past. I wrote it quite a few years ago, and I just kind of put it aside and went on to the next one. And every once in a while, I'd get a call from a producer or my agent saying, oh, so-and-so's interested. They think we might have some money. And we had a couple of false starts. And finally, I said, you know what? Why don't I just jump in as director?
Wow.
How hard could it be?
It seems very courageous.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. When you write something yourself, it's that much easier to direct it, as opposed to someone else's material, so that there's not like a conflict of ideas.
You see it in your head
Yeah.
as you're writing it.
Yeah, and I'd been around enough directors, through stunts and working on Untamed Heart with Tony Bill, side by side with him, and another group of directors who were very gracious enough to have me, sit by and watch. And And then in stunts, when you do a little bit of stunt coordinating, I only stunt coordinated a couple of films. You're essentially directing. You're directing the stunt. You're working with the actors. But yes, I said, why not?
There you go. So just for a moment, the stunt man part of your life, that in itself is just kind of fascinating. How is it? Do you feel as if you're in danger when you're in the process of doing that?
No, I mean you're nervous and things can go wrong and things do go wrong, but you're padded up and it's an illusion, you know. So you're trying to make it look like you're giving more bang for your buck when there's a couple of movie tricks, and a lot of stunts are just a couple of getting shot, you know, stair falls, you know, little things like that. It's, you know, a little precision drive. A lot of times there's driving where the picture car, you're just protecting the picture car. You know, there's a lot of different aspects to stunt work. And I was never one of the, you know, really big, crazy kind of high fall guys. So
Yeah, that seems.
yeah, I get shot a lot. I think it was.
Have you been shot recently?
Person of interest. I got shot I don't know, 7 or 8 times, and I think 6 by the same character. You know, so. But yeah, you know, you get shot, you fall down, and that's it. You know.
Yeah, but I bet you do learn a lot. I mean, being in
You learn a lot. Well,
about
having
movie
been a
making.
gymnast, you learn how to fall. You know, your kinesthetic awareness. You know, of where the ground is and stuff like that. And yeah, but it's fun. It's a nice mix. And as a kid, you know, I thought it'd be cool to be a stuntman. And
So being a gymnast in high school, right? That's when you started. Really has led you on the path to your life.
yeah, I
career
mean,
in a lot of ways.
even with acting, because you're performing, you know, as a gymnast, you know, you're out there and people are watching, and you do your routine, and it's something that you've put together yourself, and yeah, so it kind of sets you up. It gives you a little bit of, you know, a little bit more confidence, and
Right, movement is such an important part of acting. Let's talk about the themes in Girl Who Invented Kissing. I understand it's about 2 brothers and a mysterious woman who comes into their lives.
yeah, these 2 brothers who own a bar in set in Bloomfield, New Jersey, which is where I was born and grew up until we moved to Toms River with the family. But years ago, they were shooting a film there, Riding in Cars with Boys. Penny Marshall was shooting there, and a friend of mine was producing it.
Is Drew Barrymore in that film?
Yes, Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
Friend of mine, Sarah Carlton, was producing it, and I went to go see it, and I was like, damn, they're shooting in my hometown. And I was a little jealous, so I wrote a script for Bloomfield. And we actually shot it in Staten Island. We had 1 day in Bloomfield, because New York has unfortunately a nicer tax rebate, and so we got it was cheaper to shoot in New York. But you're allowed 1 day outside the city, and that was the day we got Bloomfield, and we got all our exterior landmark kind of.
So favorite places
establishing
of
shot.
yours from the community?
Geez. Well, there was a few. Actually, the name of the bar is the Oak in the movie, and there was an Oak in Bloomfield. And it was a type of bar that, I mean, just anything goes. I mean, when they closed it, my friend said, you know, there'll never be another Oak. You smoke in there, you do drugs in there, you shoot a gun there, nobody will bother you. I mean, it's the Oak. And then there was the Shortstop, which was right around the corner by the Parkway. It's a Dunkin' Donuts now. But you used to go in there 2 a.m, and, you know, the woman's behind the fry cook. She's behind the grill, and the cigarettes dangling, and the ashes are going in the burgers, and it's the greatest.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just great. There's a lot of texture in that kind of a setting.
Yeah, but you know, Bloomfield sort of. I always felt sort of like a throwback kind of feel to it, like it kind of got stuck a little bit in the 70s or 60s, and maybe that's just my own like romantic vision of it, you know, of that time.
That makes
But
sense.
it's a character in the film as well because of that. You know, these 2 characters are kind of like stuck in their life. One brother, he's this big lummox, and as a result of a childhood accident. And this girl who just gets off a bus one day, she's a drifter. Sookie Waterhouse is the actress, and she's a pill-popping druggie, and she befriends the big lummox brother, and she kind of stirs things up, you know, in their life and in the town itself.
Tell me about the cast you mentioned. Sookie
Oh, what a dream cast.
Really?
Oh, they're just great, and I love them. Vincent Piazza from Jersey Boys and Boardwalk Empire. Sookie Waterhouse. She did some of the Divergent movies, I believe, and she was a model. And there used to be this sort of stigma about, you know, a model as an actress, but it's not like that anymore because they have such a cachet of looks, and they're so comfortable in front of the camera. And
Nice.
Sookie was great. Sookie was great. Dash Myhawk from Ray Donovan. Abby Cornish from Sucker Punch and RoboCop and Limitless.
Wow.
And can't forget Johnny Mesner, Tears of the Sun, and a couple of other movies.
And Luke Wilson?
Luke Wilson, yeah, I almost forgot Luke.
What part does he play?
Luke plays Leo, the record store. There's a vinyl record shop, you know, vintage, and one of the characters, Dash's character, goes in there every day, and they have this little banter. But yeah.
How
And they're
is
all
it
great.
to see this vision? You sat down at your computer, and you saw this story unfold.
It's of course it's a great feeling, you know, to hear people, you know, say things that you wrote or jotted down on a napkin, you know, at one time, and do things, you know, because you said for them to do it. And it's like that in the first couple of days, but then after that it's just okay.
your
Well, this
job,
is the
right?
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
you remove yourself from it. It doesn't feel like you've written it. It's like, you know, these characters are saying it, and you know, this is the blueprint, and yeah.
It is. So when can we expect to see The Girl Who Invented Kissing?
Hopefully in the fall. I mean, we'll see. We're trying to get it into cans.
Very
And,
exciting.
yeah, we'll see if we have it finished by then, the editing process. But
Well, good luck with it.
well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Tom, thanks so much for
Well,
being
thanks
with
for
us.
having me, Marie.
We will look forward to The Girl Who Invented Kissing. I'm Marie Denoya Aronson, and thanks for watching The Spark.